Have you ever pasted a particular poem into SUNO just to get a pitifully polished piece of pure pabulum? Well, that, my friends, is because you're missing the one thing that actually makes a song feel like a song: structure. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 different song structures you can use to turn any poem into a real professional sounding track. I'll show you the exact structure behind hits like Shape of You and Blinding Lights, but at the very end, I'm going to show you how to throw all the rules out the window and create something that sounds truly unique. But before we get there, we need to talk about the building blocks, because if you don't know what makes a chorus different from a bridge or a verse, none of these structures are going to make any sense at all. So think of a song like a house. You wouldn't just start nailing boards together randomly. You'd have a blueprint, and that blueprint is made up of specific rooms that each serve a purpose. Songs work in the same way, and there are really only about 6 rooms that almost every song is built from. So the first building block is the intro. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's the beginning of the song. Its job is to set the mood and pull the listener into the world that you've created. Here's an example from my song, Can You Feel Me Like I Do You? And next, we have the verse. The verse is where you tell the story. It's where the details live. And here's the key thing about verses. The melody usually stays the same from verse to verse, but the lyrics change. So verse 1 might set the scene. Verse 2 might go deeper or move the story forward. And here's an example of a verse. Can you feel it in the air? A crushing sense of overwhelm. Up next, we have the pre-chorus. Now, not every song has one of these, but it can be a great way to add some tension. The pre-chorus is the build-up right before the chorus hits. Think of it like the climb on a roller coaster right before the drop. And here's an example of a pre-chorus. And that brings us to the most memorable and arguably most important section of a song, the chorus. The chorus is the emotional core of a song, the part that everybody remembers. The chorus usually has the same lyrics and the same melody every time it appears. It's the thing that gets stuck in your head for 3 days. And next, we have the bridge. The bridge is a curveball. It only shows up once, somewhere in the back half of the song, and its job is to break the pattern. It's got a different melody, maybe a different chord progression, sometimes a different energy entirely. The bridge gives the listener something unexpected, or a new perspective or twist before you come back to the final chorus. I'll say I'm fine if you ever ask me, but the truth is, baby, I'm numb. And last but not least, we have the outro, or the ending. Sometimes it's a slow fade, sometimes it's a big dramatic finish. It's the job of the outro to close the door and leave the listener with a feeling. So just to quickly summarize those building blocks: intro sets the mood, verse tells the story, pre-chorus builds tension, chorus is the emotional anchor, bridge is the curveball, and outro closes it out. But here's where it gets interesting. Not every song uses all of these. Some songs skip the pre-chorus entirely. Some don't have a bridge. Some are only verses with no chorus at all. And that's what song structure is. It's just deciding which one of those building blocks to use and in what order. So now I'm going to show you 3 different ways to arrange them using the same poem, so you can hear how dramatically different the results can be. We're going to be using a beautiful poem called You Can Tell Me Anything, written by one of my one-on-one students, as she's known on SUNO. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check her out. So this is the poem.
You decided to dive into my womb where there's no death or conception. I gave birth to you through tides and moon. With me, you'll always have connection.
This is my favorite part. You can tell me anything. There's nothing I haven't heard. There's nothing I haven't seen. You don't need any words. And the cool thing about this poem, and why this one's going to work so good for songs, is because she repeats this line, you can tell me anything, here, here, and here. But the rest of the words are different. So that repeating nature is going to make it a lot easier to turn this poem into a song. The first song structure that we're going to try out is strophic form. Maybe strophic, I don't know. Basically, all that means is that you're only using one building block, the verse, over and over again. Every stanza of the poem gets the same melody. The words change, but the music doesn't. No chorus, no bridge, just the same musical foundation repeating. And popular songs that use this structure are songs like Amazing Grace, Blowing in the Wind, or House of of the Rising Sun. And you'd want to use this structure when you want to put all the focus on the lyrics. The music becomes like a soundtrack in a movie. It's there, but it's not competing with the words. So now let's change this poem into a song by using meta tags. And meta tags are just words in brackets that you can use in SUNO to give the song structure or production cues. So I'm just going to put verse 1 in brackets, and then I'm going to copy and paste this after the "you can tell me anything" stanza. And then we're just going to go verse 2, and this one, verse 3. I'm just going to copy and paste this into SUNO. And for the style prompt, I'm just going to do something similar to House of the Rising Sun.
You decided to dive into my womb, where there's no death or conception. I gave birth to you through tides and moon. With me you always have connection. You can tell me anything. There's nothing I haven't heard. There's nothing I haven't seen. You don't need any words.
And similar to the House of the Rising Sun, it went ahead and made like an instrumental part. Then we can fast forward.
Jump head first into my crashing wave.
Now let's move on to structure number 2, the verse chorus form, or the pop song structure. This is the structure that's behind probably 90% of the song you've ever heard. And this is where we use all of the building blocks. So we're just gonna make this very first part, that "you decided to dive into my womb" until the "with me you always have connection." That's gonna be our first verse. And then this is gonna be the chorus. And usually a pre-chorus would have like 2 to 4 lines, but since this goes straight into the "you can tell me anything," we're just gonna skip the pre-chorus for this one. So now we got verse 1, chorus, and then this is going to be our verse 2. And then for the second time the chorus comes around, I'm actually going to copy and paste this one from before, because with a song, the chorus is always the same. This part right here, you've been doing this for a million years, you won't be done for a million more. That sounds really good for a bridge to me. So we'll put bridge in brackets. And now for the final chorus, we can have this one where she had some variation. We'll just put chorus 2. And I'll even put layered harmonies, powerful emotional lift. So now we have this structured like a pop song. Let's copy this and paste it into the lyrics section in SUNO. And for the style, let's actually go for something a little bit more poppy. I'm just gonna grab something from the 500 SUNO prompts ebook because I'm lazy, and paste that into style. And then let's go to advanced options and make sure that female vocal is selected for the vocal gender. Oh, and then we could add an outro. So I'll just do brackets, outro, soft piano, fade out. Now let's create this doohickey.
You decided to dive into my womb, where there's no death or conception. I gave birth to you through tides and moon. With me you always have connection. You can tell me anything. There's nothing I haven't heard. There's nothing I haven't seen. You don't need any words. Jump head first into my crashing waves. If you wanna know what it means to be alive, don't be afraid of my undercurrent. It will deliver you to the other side. You can tell me anything. There's nothing I haven't heard. There's nothing I haven't seen. You don't need any words. You can tell me anything. There's nothing I haven't heard. There's nothing I haven't seen. You don't need any words. You've been doing this for a million years. You won't be done for a million more. Cast into my ocean all your fears and redeem yourself upon my shore. You can tell me anything. There's nothing you have to hide. There's nothing you could have done. I'll always by your side.
I wasn't crying. If you tell anybody, I'll call the cops. Now, this last structure is kind of weird and is called through composed. So you remember all those building blocks we talked about before? This structure basically throws them out the window. Instead of using familiar sections that repeat verses, choruses, and all of that, you're just kind of moving forward and building over time like a film, similar to like Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. The song doesn't have a traditional verse chorus structure. It's a journey through time. Now, since the structure is so different, I couldn't just tell SUNO verse 1, chorus, and things like that because it would just try to repeat it. So instead, I used this custom GPT I made for SUNO, which you can get completely for free in the link in the description. And I just told it to give me a prompt for something like Bohemian Rhapsody and to make it something that is through composed. So this is what it gave me for the style. So I'm going to copy and paste that into SUNO. And this is how it did the lyrics. It changed intro to opening, and then development A, development B, acceleration, and expansion, and it gave production cues for each one of these sections. So yeah, I relied really heavily on the GPT here, but hey, that's why I built it. That's what I did it for. Let's create and hear what that sounds like.
You decided to dive into my womb,
Where there's no death or conception.
I gave birth to you through tides and moon.
With me you always have connection.
You can tell me anything.
There's nothing I haven't heard.
There's nothing I haven't seen. You don't need any words. Jump head first into my crashing waves.
So to summarize, we have three song structures. One is strophic, where it's just the verses repeating, which is really good for lyrics and storytelling. Second is verse chorus, or the pop structure, which is repeating hooks, clear sections, and maximum catchiness. And then we have through compose, which just keeps evolving with no repetition, which is great for cinematic and emotional journeys. And one more thing, just to keep in mind, the genre you pick in your style prompt matters too, because SUNO's been trained on millions of songs, so it knows all of the tropes. If you tell it to do a folk ballad, it's already leaning towards strophic. If you tell it pop, it wants to give you verse and choruses. So try to make sure that your structure and your genre are working together. And if there's anything else you want to know about SUNO AI, let me know in the comments, or I'm going to invite you and your fiance to a home-cooked meal, and I'm gonna put an extra loud whoopee cushion in her seat, and my cousin, who will have been hiding under the table the whole time, is gonna spray extra strength fart spray at the same time that smells so bad your fiance will leave you, take the kids, take the dog and the ring, and marry a rich atheist from the Scandinavian islands with a gambling problem.